So I'm just going to talk for a short time about the APA abstract, which I've asked you to include in your academic posters. So on the screen, you should be able to see clearly enough. This is from the APA themselves, an APA style note, 7th edition Abstract and Keywords Guide. Okay, so it says here that abstracts and keywords are not typically required for student papers. Students should consult their instructor or institution to determine whether they include an abstract and or keywords. So I do want you to include an abstract for this poster. We're not going to worry about keywords. So what is an abstract according to them? So the abstract needs to provide a brief but comprehensive summary of the contents of your paper. So what they mean is an abstract is a summary, and a summary is done at the very end. So do not try to write your abstract until after you've completed your academic poster. So the abstract is the very last thing that you need to write. So it says here, it provides an overview of the paper and helps readers decide whether to read the full text or not. I need to limit your abstract to around about 250 words. So anywhere between 150 and 200 words will be enough. So what should it have? Okay, so abstract content. An abstract addresses the following, usually 1 to 2 sentences per topic. Don't worry about this one here. Key aspects of a literature review. You haven't done one of those, so that you can ignore for this abstract. What was it we were asking you to do? What was the problem under investigation? You state your hypothesis. The pine trees are fatter, thinner than the chestnut trees, and so on. Methods used, brief descriptions of the study design, sample and sample size. The results, briefly, what did you get? You found that the chestnut trees were bigger than the pine trees, or something else. Did you find that all the pine trees were the same all over the park, or were some different in different parts of the park? And then, why is that important? Why do you think it's important that you found these results? What does it tell you as a researcher? So that's what it's meant to be doing, all those things. And then your format, okay? Don't worry too much about all of this, but it does need to be an abstract as a title, and it does need to be in bold and centered in whichever section of your poster that you put your abstract. And it will be written at the beginning, right? So this is for what happens when an abstract is written on a paper. Here you're writing a poster. So it's going to be the first thing that you actually write, your abstract. Okay, don't worry about the rest of those things. So I'm going to take you to another website here. This is Morningside University, and they provide a slightly better way of looking at abstracts. So here it is, abstracts information up here. Often abstracts are included in professional papers to provide a short summary of a larger work. That word summary is very important. Abstracts allow the reader to quickly decide if they want to read the larger work. For some student papers, you'll be asked by your instructor to include an abstract. So let's be clear, I am expecting you to include an abstract. What makes a good abstract? Well, here we go, accurate. Ensure that the abstract reflects the purpose and content of the paper. If the study extends or replicates previous research, which I don't think it does in this case, then cite any previous work. Remember, citation, 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 and then referencing. Non-evaluative. Lordy, what does that word mean? Well, what you're doing is you're using your abstract not to discuss anything. You're using your abstract just to summarize what you've already discussed in other parts of the paper. So no new ideas in the abstract, only ideas that you've already included in the rest of your academic poster. Coherent and readable, that always helps, doesn't it? Make sure that what you are writing makes sense, that it's in good, clear, simple English. Again, I'm not expecting fantastic English. We're expecting clear, simple sentences. Write in clear and deliberate language. Use the active rather than the passive voice. So we carried out rather than something was carried out by us. That first version was active, the second version is passive. The active voice always sounds more impressive in a poster. Use the present tense to describe conclusions or results. Okay, so we conclude that. Use the past tense to describe variables that were manipulated. We measured the circumference of the trees. So you have the word measured in the past tense there. We processed the results. We carried out chi-square test, t-test. Concise. Be brief and begin the abstract with the most important points. Include only 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Okay? Don't summarize by writing the entire essay all over again. You have 200 to 250 words. Okay, formatting, we're not going to worry too much about that because that's for a paper. Here underneath, and you can pause the video, you can see an example of an abstract and how it is written and the amount of information that's in it. Again, don't worry about the content of this. Notice that the sentences are short and that is a summary. It doesn't evaluate, it doesn't add any new information. That's all you need in your abstract. Okay, thank you.